Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Could we all rise for the playing of O Canada, please? Thank you very much, everyone, for joining the meeting today. We all have the agenda in front of us. Item number 3, is there any additions or deletions to the agenda as circulated? Hearing none, a motion to approve the agenda is in order. Moved by Councillor Daniel Allen, seconded by Councillor Patty Durkee. To approve the agenda as circulated. Motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Item number 5, is there any declarations of conflict of interest in the meeting agenda? Me personally, I have one. Please be noted in item 8.1.2, second reading of the repeal of the solid waste collection and disposal bylaw S-088-19. I'm declaring a conflict in that. And the next item, 8.1.3, second reading of the solid waste resources collection and disposal bylaw S-088-20. I'm declaring a conflict in those two items. Councillor Trevor Cunningham said he would be taking over the meeting, so when those two items come up, could it be please noted in the minutes the time that I leave the meeting and the time that I return under item number 9, new business, please. Is there any other declarations of conflict of interest? Hearing none. Item number 6, presentations. We have no presentations this evening. Moving on to item number 7, approval of the minutes. You all have those in your meeting packages. Is there any errors or omissions? If there's none, I'd entertain a motion to accept the meeting minutes as presented. Usually we have someone speak up and approve them verbally. Councillor Gerard LeBlanc.
I gotta find them again. Where? Can somebody else take them? I can't find them again.
Councillor Patty Durkee.
Sure. I'm going to make a motion to approve the minutes of June 24th, the regular council meeting minutes. There we go. June 30th, committee of the whole meeting minutes. July the 8th, committee of the whole minutes. July 8th, regular council minutes. July 8th, special council minutes. July 17th, 2020, special council minutes.
Moved by Councillor Patty Durkee. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Daniel Allen. A motion on the floor to approve the minutes as read by Councillor Patty Durkee. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Moving on. Item number 8, business arising from the minutes. Item 8.1, recommendations from July 8th, Committee of the Whole. 8.1.1, second reading of the alternative voting bylaw A-028-20. Councilors, you all have in your package. Is there any comments, questions, concerns? If not, I'd entertain a motion to get this on the floor so we can have some discussion. Okay, moved by Councilor Trevor Cunningham to approve the second reading of the alternative voting bylaw A-028-20. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councilor Gerard LeBlanc. Is there any discussion on that motion? Councilor Trevor Cunningham.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I'm going to vote in the affirmative on this motion. It really was the only way forward. There'll be an alternate, there'll be a polling station available at the municipal office for residents who want to come in and use the technology there. Overall, it's a good plan, solidly reliable, and given the uncertainty with COVID, poll workers, and all of those complexities that COVID brings along with it, we really had no choice but to implement this bylaw and the voting by technology. So thanks so much.
Councilor Lauren Cushing.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. Yeah, I have no problem with it. My only concern is I wanted to try to make sure that we as a municipality of the District of Yarmouth do everything we can to get the information out to the public, to all the residents who will be voting in this upcoming election, so they'll know what to do and have it as simplified as possible for people who may not be able to follow the directions that are given to them. So I just hope that we can make sure that it's put out to the public, and if there's any questions, the public can contact the returning officer and just to confirm how to do it, how to vote and whatnot. So I'm really concerned about this part. Make sure we really get it out to the public in a very positive light.
Is there any other comments? Any comments from staff? Madam CAO?
Chairman, so to Councillor Cushing's point, we did launch a communication strategy today. There are 7 pillars to the strategy, and it ranges everything from where do I get help if I need help to, what protects the system from voter fraud. So I do want to let council know that I did approve that strategy. We're investing a couple of $1,000s in the strategy, and it will include everything from radio to flyers, Claire Shopper, websites, Facebook page, pieces on CJLS on the Weekender. So we're using a variety of tools on a number of occasions to get the message out there.
Thank you very much, Madam CEO. Any other comments or questions? I do have one comment if no one else has any. Begrudgingly, I'm going to move in the favor of the second reading of the alternative bylaw. I always had concerns, and it's been brought up to me a few times that people still wish that they had the paper ballot. But as Councillor Trevor Cunningham had stated, that with the uncertainty of the COVID-19, also the concerns of the second wave of the COVID-19, this is going to be in the best interest of everyone. Now, whenever the new council comes in, they can revive the paper ballot system if they wish, because as you all know, alternative voting bylaw could be changed, or we could be something different, or who knows, we might have a different type of pandemic, or everything may be back to normal, which I hope. And then the next council will decide then if they wanted to revive the paper ballot. But like I said, I'm going to begrudgingly accept the second reading of the voting bylaw. So if there's no more discussion, I'd entertain a motion on a question on the motion.
Question.
Question being called. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much, councillors. As previously stated in item 5, declarations of conflict of interest, I'm declaring a conflict in the next 2 items, 8.1.2 and 8.1.3. So Councillor Trevor Cunningham, I'm going to relinquish the chair to you, and please note in the meeting minutes that I am leaving at 6:15 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. And as Councillor Deputy Warden Cunningham indicated, we're looking at business section 8 or agenda item 8, sorry, business arising from the minutes. And again, the 8.1.2 is a second reading of the repeal of the solid waste resource collection and disposal bylaw S-088-19. And I'll look for a mover from the floor and a seconder to have that brought to the floor for conversation discussion.
Trevor?
Yes, yeah. Moved by Councillor Durkee.
Yeah, but I also want to comment that 8.1, there were recommendations from July the 8th Committee of the Whole meeting. If you click on those 8.1, I believe there's a motion also needed for the start time of polling, so that there was a change there. I think we just may have missed that. And correct
I
me.
was going to point it out to the chairman after we dealt with this business. Yep.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to wait. Sorry, I got to go back here. To there we go. I can make a motion for the second reading of the repeal of the solid waste resource collection and disposal bylaw S-088, and I can't see the last part because I'm on my cell phone looking at the agenda. So if someone could finish that off, that would be greatly appreciated.
It's -19.
Thank you very much. -19.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Durkee. Do you have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Very good. So we've got a mover, seconder, Lauren Cushion. Discussion, does the CAO want to comment at all on any input she's received?
No input, Mr. Chair. And just for the record, 8.1.2 and 8.1.3 go hand in hand. And that's council's response to work we're doing to improve the organic stream of municipal solid waste.
Very good. Thank you very much. So we've got a mover, seconder. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? There being none opposed, motion carried. We're going to move on to 8.1.3, the second reading of the solid waste resource collection and disposal bylaw S-088-20. And I see Councillor Durkee's got her hand up to move that, I'm assuming.
Yes, it is. I will move the approval of the second reading of the solid waste resource collection and disposal bylaw S-088-20.
And do we have a seconder to that motion?
I'll second that.
Councillor Cushion seconds. The items on the floor. Any conversation, discussion about the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. And I will turn the meeting back over to Deputy Warden Cunningham for new business.
Thank you very much, Councillor Trevor Cunningham. Please be noted in the meetings that I returned to the meeting at 6:19 p.m. I did hear, sorry, and I might have missed this, and this is in regards to item 8.1.1 in regards to the second reading of the alternative voting bylaw. There was a date or something or time that I'd missed. Councillor Patty Durkee.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the start time of polling on October the 8th, 2020 from 12:01 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay, a motion on the floor, moved by Councillor Patty Durkee, seconded by Councillor Trevor Cunningham. Any discussion on that motion? Madam CAO, what was the reasoning for that change?
So that's the first day of voting. So starting voting just after midnight could be problematic for the vendor. So we have to make sure that we have our helpline available when voting opens, and the helpline is only available during regular business hours. So that's why we're amending the opening of voting to the opening of the business day.
All right, motion on the floor. Any more discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I'd entertain a question.
Question.
Question being called. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, everyone. My apologies for missing that, and I'm going to bring that up in item number, I think it's number 13, or sorry, item number 12, Deputy Warden's remarks on how difficult sometimes it is to keep everything straight. Thank you for your patience, Council. All right, moving on.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
We did miss something under the recommendations from Committee of the Whole. There was a document linked under 8.1, and there was a piece there regarding dry weather situation and a letter that Council had wanted the Deputy Warden to write to the Town of Yarmouth Water Utility. And since that time, the Town of Yarmouth Water Utility has begun construction on a bulk water dispensary. And so it's my recommendation that rather than craft a letter of concern, we actually craft a letter of thanks.
All right, Councillor Trevor Cunningham, you have the floor.
Yes, I'll make a motion to that effect, that the municipality of District of Yarmouth send the town of Yarmouth and its water utility a letter of thanks for the construction of the bulk water facility that will serve our residents well. So that's a much needed thing in these with the dry climate. It's fantastic. Thank you.
Motion on the floor, seconded by Councillor Patty Durkee. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. Item number 9. Item 9.1, June Development Report. You all have that in your package, councillors. I'd like, if you're all happy with that, I'd like someone to make a motion to accept that development report. Moved by Councillor Daniel Allen, seconded by Councillor Patty Durkee to accept the June Development Report. Motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. Item 9.2, the CAO report. You all have that also in your package. It's quite lengthy. Thank you very much, Madam CAO. Is there any comments, concerns, or questions on that report? Councillor Patty Durkee.
Thank you. As noted in the motions of council, there was a motion that was made on June 24th. It was moved and seconded to support the Love program with a contribution of $2,000, and on the right side it said financial contribution of $2,000. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that motion not defeated?
No. Council agreed to, and we can go look at the minutes, Councillor Durkee, but Council did agree to support the Love Yarmouth campaign.
Oh, okay. I didn't think okay, thank you for the clarification.
Councillor Trevor Cunningham.
Yes, it was in the minutes we just approved. There was it wasn't unanimously passed, having said that, but it was passed.
Okay, great, thank you.
It was 4-3, Councillor Durkee.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
No worries.
My mistake.
Is there any other comments or questions about the CAO's report? Madam CAO, do you have anything to say about it? Anything
I will just point out, maybe for the record and for those that will view this, I've provided my final installment on the update on the District of Yarmouth strategic initiative that was developed in 2018 when I joined the team. So this is the final report, and we got a lot done. a lot of work done. We have more work to do, but I did just want to point out, in case anybody's been tracking along with the strategic initiatives, that this is the final report that will be delivered to this council on that piece.
Thank you very much, Madam CAO. Councillor Trevor Cunningham.
Yes, I was pleased to see that the Milo Boat Club renovations were completed. I'm just wondering if there's any thought to put those renovations up on the website so people can see them.
It's my understanding that that is the intention. Once the file is actually officially closed, the work is done. I know that Frank Grant has captured a lot of images and the improvements are significant. And so we will absolutely be promoting that. And at some time when it's appropriate, I'm confident that there will be an event at the facility.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you.
Any more comments and questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to accept the CAO's report as presented. Moved by Councillor Patty Durkee, seconded by Councillor Lauren Cushing to approve the accept the CAO's report as circulated. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Item 9.3, Western Wren Intermunicipal Agreement. Madam CAO, I take it you have that?
I do, Mr. Chairman. So it's recommended by the Liaison and Oversight Committee of the Western Regional Enterprise Network that the member municipalities approve this intermunicipal agreement, which will pick up where the current one leaves off on August 31st, 2020, and will be for a 5-year period from September 1st, 2020 until August 31st, 2025.
So is someone willing to make a motion to approve the Western Wren Intermunicipal Agreement? Moved by Councillor Patty Durkee. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Gerard LeBlanc. Motion on the floor. Is there any discussion on that motion? Councillor Lauren Cushing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Have all the rest of the municipalities come on board with approving this also? Can you answer that, Ms. CAO?
I don't know which councils have actually met to ratify it, but the Liaison and Oversight Committee unanimously voted to recommend this to their councils.
Okay, so there's no, so we really don't know how many people are going to come back into it. I guess I understand that so it hasn't come before all the councils, in other words, is that what you're saying?
There's no indication that any of the member units will not continue to participate in the Western Wren.
Okay, good, thank you.
Any more comments from any other council members? Councillor Patty Durkee.
As a member of the Liaison and Oversight Committee, I just want to thank all those councillors and wardens, mayors on that committee who worked really hard to review this extremely carefully. In the end, there were not a lot of changes made, and the hope is that it will smoothly run for another 5 years. So I'm certainly going to agree to this action. Another one of those days.
I feel your pain, Councillor Durkee. Is there any other comments or questions? I would just have one quick comment. I'm really glad that we're going to be moving forward with this agreement with the Western Wren. I think it's something that works on behalf of the whole region, as a matter of fact. And there's a lot of great programs in there that actually some local businesses are benefiting from in the municipality district of Yarmouth and all over. So, and then one of those includes the newcomers and stuff like that are coming in to work at different businesses. Our business actually is taking up the rent on one of those projects. So very glad to be part of it. So a motion on the floor to approve the Western Wren intermunicipal agreement. I'd entertain a question on the motion.
Question.
Question being called. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much. Item 9.4, October council meeting. Madam CAO.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to remind council and also put it out there for the public that there will be no meetings of the District of Yarmouth Council or Committee of the Whole in the month of October. The regularly scheduled Committee of the Whole meeting would have been October 14th, and that's during polling days. So there won't be a sitting of council that day. And then as usual, there won't be a council meeting after the election on October 17th until the swearing in early November.
Thank you very much. CAO, is there any comments from councilors? Hearing none. Item 9.5, PAC recommendations. 9.5.1, excuse me, possible public access property inventory. Madam CAO, do you wish to speak to that?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. An initiative came forward from the Planning Advisory Committee around possibly creating an inventory of land in the District of Yarmouth, which could be of interest to the District Council in terms of creating green spaces or public access. And so I think the first step in the process will be for my team and I to create for Council a list of the property we do own and map it for you to show you where there may already be greenfield spaces or public access spaces. And then we can go from there. So it would be my recommendation that council refer this back to staff, who will then report to Committee of the Whole when the work is complete.
Is there any questions or comments from council? Is someone willing to make that? Councillor Lauren Cushing.
Yeah, I'd like to make one comment if I could. I think it's a good idea for to determine a list of attractive properties for common citizen use, such as parks, access to lakes with the municipality of District of Yarmouth, consult with the public to find out if there is a demand. I think it's a very good step forward. And by going through this process, correct me if I'm wrong, we'll be able to identify some land that we could probably possibly use for other activities. So so I think it's be a good step forward just to see what's out there. So thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Madam CAO.
I'm going to make a comment, and if the solicitor disagrees with me, absolutely, I'd love to have that conversation. But just for the record, because this body of work could lead to contract negotiations and purchase of land, that once it's referred to staff, it will be an in-camera piece because of the nature of the work.
Raymond, your microphone is.
Now it's not. No, I agree with Victoria.
All right, so is someone willing to make a motion that follow the recommendations on staff to make an inventory of property? Moved by Councillor Patty Durkee, seconded by Councillor Daniel Allen. All right, a motion on the floor. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much, everyone. Council, if there is a vote in the nay, if I say unanimously, please correct me for the record for the next meeting minutes. I haven't seen anyone's hands go up yet for nay, so. All right, item 9.5.2, Commercial Development District Plan Bylaw. Which one of the staff members is going to be moving forward with this?
I'll defer to our planner, Mr. Chair.
All right, our planner, Morris Lloyd, is on the,
I'm here, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me?
yes, I can, Mr. Lloyd, you have the floor.
Okay, good. Earlier this year in February, Council passed the Comprehensive Development District Improvement Bylaw and forwarded it to the Minister for approval. And the staff came back and pointed out that under Section 71C3 of the Municipal Government Act, that you would require an amendment to your municipal planning strategy as well as passing the bylaw. And that went to the Planning Advisory Committee, and and they're recommending this change to you. Section 71C4 also says that a municipal development district may only be established in an area that's serviced by water facilities and the sewer system. The district you picked was Hebron and the Lakes, of course, and there is water and sewer in a substantial part of that district. So the amendment that you have before you is to, the amendment would be to section 6 of the municipal planning strategy. And the recommendation is that the introduction to the strategy be amended to say council wishes to further encourage economic development in this area by designating it as a commercial development district under the Municipal Government Act. This will permit the phasing in of an increase to the taxable assessment value of eligible commercial properties, leading to a more stable and competitive investment environment. And out of that, add policy 6.1.2 to establish to the municipal planning strategy to establish a commercial development district within the Hebron and Lakes district in the area that is serviced by wastewater facilities and a water system. So that gives you what the minister, I think, is looking for in order to give final approval to your bylaw. I just might say that I think there were a number of bylaws approved before everybody realized that this requirement that you have a policy in your municipal planning strategy was noted, and so there may be a few of these that kind of slipped through before that, but it's been picked up now, and this additional policy is required in order to move your commercial development district improvement bylaw forward.
All right, is there any comments or questions? I believe someone has a motion on that regard, if they'd like to put it on the floor, and we have a seconder so we can have some discussion on that.
Mr. Chair, if I could just very quickly, so the motion would be for first reading on the amendment to the municipal planning strategy.
Correct. Councillor Patty Durkee.
I'll move that motion.
Okay, motion on the floor moved by Councillor Patty Durkee. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Trevor Cunningham. You all have the motion on the floor. Is there any discussion on that motion? Councillor Trevor Cunningham.
Yes, I'm particularly pleased to see this come forward to our council. Thank you very much for your due diligence, Mr. Lloyd, in working with the Planning Advisory Committee. Fantastic work, and certainly anything to spur economic growth and smooth the transition for capital improvements is welcome at our table. So I'm voting with this, voting for this, voting in the affirmative, because it's good for business in the municipality of Yarmouth, and particularly Hebron Lakes. So thank you so much.
Is there any other comments from any other councillors? If not, I'd entertain a question on the motion.
Question.
Question being called. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much, council. Okay, moving on. Item number 10, 10.1 for action. There is no action items. Item 10.2 for information. You have in front of you, councillors, information from Rebound Hockey Nova Scotia, the DP resident sentiment survey, item pandemic relief efforts update, press release from Yarmouth and Acadian Shores, the Yarmouth Recreation Report from July the 10th, municipal profile and financial condition indicators report, and NSFM response letter from Wayne Mason. You all have that in front of you. Councillor Patty Durkee.
I just want to comment on the NSFM response letter from Way, that because I'm on the board of NSFM, I recused myself and declared conflict of interest on the discussion on the letter that was received from the municipality of the District of Yarmouth.
Okay, recording secretary, could you please note that in the meeting minutes for our next meeting? Thank you. Okay, item number 11, reports. 11.1, legal entities. Does any counselor have any verbal report in that section of 11.1? You may note that I have written reports in there. Counselor Daniel Allen.
I'll give you a quick report on the Mariner Center. We've had a meeting. We've done some pretty great work. We've got some sanitizing policies put in place now. We are aiming for August the 10th to try and put ice in Arena 2. We're going to reassess that on August the 4th just to see if there is enough interest. You know, it takes a substantial investment from the 3 municipalities to fund the Mariner Center. And we want to make sure that, you know, it's done properly and that it doesn't run us too far behind, but we know we have to make an investment in this to get it going. So here's hoping that there's enough interest to get some ice and get some kids and people back on the ice. We can always use some physical activity right now. Everybody's been pent up for long enough, but we only want to do it if everyone can do it safely. So yeah, so we're pretty excited to get stuff starting to move around out there.
All right, thank you very much, Councillor Allen. Is there any other? Councillor Patty Durkee.
If I may, through you, Mr. Chair, to Council, just wondering what's happening with the manager for the Mariner Center, if that's moving ahead.
I'd have to direct that to our Madam CAO. She probably have a little more information on that. I know we're still working on it. We don't have anyone in place yet. She may have a little bit more information. I'm not sure if we have that much more information that we can give out at this time.
Okay, thank you.
I do believe that would be a personnel matter since there's no one hired. Madam CAO, is there any other information you can divulge on that?
Well, I think just to Councillor Allen's point, the Mariner Center Management Board did create a subcommittee to look after that piece. And so when they have a candidate that they'd like to recommend to the board, then they'll do that. And so we're still searching for a candidate.
Thank you.
Work in progress. Thank you very much, Madam CAO. Is there any other questions for any committee members under item 11.1? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 11.2, the advisory committee reports. You all see that I've also once again submitted my reports via email, except for the Planning Advisory Committee. We dealt with that business already in the agenda. Is there any other advisory reports from any council members? Councillor Patty Durkee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to mention that we had a doctor recruitment and retention committee last week, and we've got more good news. I know that everybody's anxiously waiting for family docs to begin, and that should be happening in August. So they'll be beginning their practices. In addition, we have 2 doctors that have residents who have started their final year. One has 1 year left and one has 2 years left. And news about that is they've just bought homes in the area, which signifies that, you know, hopefully they'll be staying. And we have a new psychologist that's going to be starting anytime that has come from away. And I just want to add that recruiting is continuing, and the navigators and the recruitment staff are all working together to work on some virtual recruiting because we know we can't travel. That being said, we've had a new psychiatrist start who arrived from Ireland. So it is moving forward and things are going really well.
Thank you very much, Councillor Durkee. As you all may know, back in item 11.1 under legal entities, Industrial Commission, we signed a doctor to Harbor South. That's in my report. So thank you very much. I'm very glad to see that we're finally getting some action and doctors signing up. It's very encouraging, and I'm very happy of the work that the doctor recruitment committee has done. So thank you very much, Councillor Durkee. Is there any other reports on item 11.2 advisory committee reports? Hearing none, move on to item 11.3 ad hoc. You all have those committees in front of you. I also put down a written report for Yargal 2024. And one thing that I want to mention in regards here on the live stream meeting is I've been elected chair of that. I've always stated that I wanted to be part of the solution, not the problem, and I've stepped up to the plate to chair that committee. And I'm very excited that we've already had our first meeting and we've created 2 subcommittees and they're off and running. I believe our next meeting on that committee is middle of next month. So is there any other reports on any other ad hoc committees? Hearing none, move on. Item number 12, Deputy Warden's remarks. Well, I must say that it's been certainly quite a learning curve being the Deputy Warden of the Municipality District Yarmouth since our warden has taken a leave of absence. It's quite, to put it in a fireman's term, I feel like I'm drinking out of a 4-inch hose, but I must say over the past week, things have seem to come to what I call a new normal. And on behalf of council, I'd like to thank each and every one of you that stepped up for the vacancies on the different committees that we've had. It's been quite challenging to say the least. As you all know, I've taken on a couple more chairperson roles. One, like I just mentioned, the Yargal 2024 committee. I'm also the new chair of the Yarmouth Airport Commission. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. And I'd like to thank Madam CAO and all the municipal staff for all the extra help that they've given me because, as you know, I work full time. But since July the 13th, I've had to cut back my work schedule due to some medical issues that I previously had. And once again, thank you very much, everyone, for your continued support. And this year has been a little bit different, hasn't it? Where usually the summertime is what I call barbecue season, and it's a little bit different out there with the COVID-19. That being said, our municipal elections are coming up on October the 17th. There's a few points I'd like to make on this. Nominations will be beginning on August 31st through September the 8th. You can, if you do put your name up for nomination, you can withdraw your name on September the 9th. If you want to declare your nomination, contact the returning officer, Dean Fuller. His email address is in lowercase letters, ro@district.yarmouth.ns.ca. Or you can contact Dean Fuller at 902-742-7159. That would be our administration department here in the municipal office, and they'll get you to him. Or you can contact Dean on the cell number at 902-774-4642. You can also go to our municipal website, www.district.yarmouth.ns.ca, and go to a link which is directly on our homepage, and you'll be able to see what you have to do to become a nominee for the next upcoming municipal election on October the 17th. Also, one thing that should be noted, the polling dates are from October the 8th through October the 17th. Madam CAO, what was the time that we just passed that motion for on October 8th when the polls are open?
9 a.m. and they close at 7 p.m. on October 17th.
Thank you very much, Madam CAO. See, staff keeps me straight. Also, there's one more thing that I wanted to bring up, and as soon as I can get it up. I find it quite difficult by doing meetings virtually. If everyone could see, I have a smartphone that I have some information on, and then I'm just going to pan over a little bit. I have another computer right here and a whole bunch of papers and files and folders. So it's quite hard, I find, to do a meeting with 3 electronic devices and about 14 papers strewn around. Anyone that knows me knows that sometimes I have a lot of trouble multitasking, so I'm getting better at it, obviously. One more thing that I wanted to bring out is Operation Blue Nose, which happened over the weekend. A lot of you might have noticed that the administration building and the Yarmouth Cape for Shoe light was lit up in blue. Operation Blue Nose was a movement to celebrate the strength and resilience of Nova Scotia's people during the recent trying times. So on behalf of the municipality district of Yarmouth, I'd like to say to all of our residents is stay safe, stay strong, and stay resilient. And that's my Deputy Warden's report. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, item number 13, is there any other business?
John, I have
Warren Cushing.
First of all, you never see me when I put my hand up to after you report. I just want to thank you for your stepping up to the plate when the situation occurred, sort of thing, right? It's part of what they call a team player, sort of thing, right? And we're supposed to be there to support each and every one of us as a team. You know, when one team member goes down, we got to be there to support them in one way or the other. And I got to say, I think you've done a very good job handling the situation that we were faced with. So again, thank you very much for that, John. My second item I wanted to bring up, I had asked to speak about the Canada Day events down at the Cape for Shoe Lighthouse, but I didn't see it on the agenda. So if you wouldn't mind, everyone, I'd like to speak to that, if I could.
That is under other business. Absolutely, Councillor Warren Cushing. What would the heading be? If that's all right with the other council members, that we have that quick addition to Cape for Shoe activities? I don't see any negative comments, so we'll add that as 13.1, Cape for Shoe activities. Councillor Lauren Cushing, you have the floor. My apologies
Okay.
for not having that added to the agenda, because I know you had asked me a few days ago.
Well, we'll let that slip. You had other important things to do too, right? I just want to say that, with the COVID-19 and our July 1st celebrations at the Cape for Shoe Light Station, I was very impressed on how things went there. Frank Grant and his team were set up just before you get to the Leif Erikson Trail, where cake was passed out and ice cream sandwiches were passed out. And there was a good flow of people. Nobody really stood. They just picked it up and went on, took their little walk around Leif Erikson Trail, asked some questions and whatnot. And also, Cape for Shoe staff, led by Jennifer, I forgot what her last name is. But anyway, Jennifer, she was, they did an excellent job. Them golf carts were on the move constantly, checking to see if anybody needed a ride up to the lighthouse or back, or they even travel around the trail and see if anybody was having difficulty walking or if they needed a ride somewhere. So, that was the whole purpose of them golf carts. It was to assist those in need that need to get up the hill and back down the hill and to into the parking lots and whatnot. So I'd like to just say thank you to Jennifer and her staff for the lovely work they've done and answered questions. I see they were, from what I noticed, Jennifer was talking to a number of people about different things, and the staff driving the golf carts, they were also very cooperative, and they would stop and ask, do you need a ride, or is there anything you need, or whatnot. So that's very positive to see that type of action, through our summer staff and whatnot. Also, with the addition of the whalebones that have been erected down there, it just goes to show you how much interest there is in the Cape for Shoe Light Station, that it's bringing in other people who want to share some of their experiences and some of the artifacts that they may have. So it's, I think we're on a very positive track, and with the Cape for Shoe Master Plan, I'm very excited about that, and I look forward and continue on with that effort, because it's certainly going to improve the whole area. It's going to be well visited. I've had a couple of questions that come to me, and one person actually asked me if this master plan was a big secret, and so I directed them to the website that we have, and our local Vanguard person, Carol Allen, certainly stepped in and gave the person the information she needed to go to take a look at that master plan. So it's getting out there, and I think the public is very excited about what's going to be happening in the future. And I think we've got a lot of support, because I travel down to the lighthouse quite often just to take a look around, see what's going on, and see if I see anything other place and whatnot. So, and there's always a good flow of people. As a rule, in the past year before this COVID-19, you would see that good flow of people, but you would also see a lot of tourists from the States and whatnot, their license plate numbers and stuff like this, or other parts of Canada, which I've talked to several times to people on my visits down there. But this year, it's a lot of people from our own area, and so which is very exciting to see. It's become very popular, and it's very great to see. And thank you for all the support that council has given to that master plan, and thank you for the Frank Grant and his staff, and thank you to Jennifer and her staff to make that Canada Day a really important part of how to operate safely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Lauren Cushing. I was going to cut you off. 5-minute rule applies under my chairmanship. All right. Under the very last agenda item, under other business, today is sort of a bittersweet day for me. You council may or may not know, and the public certainly doesn't know, that today is going to be Liz Smith-Dowsett's last regular council meeting. So I just wanted to give the acknowledgement to Liz of all the years of municipal service that you gave the residents, the staff, and council over the years. From my understanding, I think in the quick discussion with you, Liz, is I think you've been under 6 different wardens. I think the first one would have been Warden Richard Hurlbert, and moving through, I can't remember them all because that was even before my time. And I just want to tell everyone a real quick story. Back in 2008, when I was first elected, I come through the right up the middle of everyone, and I wasn't really expected to win. So the next day, I happened to walk in the municipal office, which was in Main Street at the time. And the first person I met was Liz. And she goes, "Hi, can I help you?" I said, "Hi, my name's John Cunningham. Apparently I got elected last night. Who are you and what do you do?" So anyway, I sort of caught her flat-footed, but she was very professional then, because my sort of humor sort of catches people off guard. I know she wanted to laugh out loud, but that's a true story. When I first met Liz, and ever since then, Liz has certainly been what I consider the backbone of certainly the municipal staff. She does not work directly for council. She works directly for the CAO, but she was always there to lend a helping hand. When I first come into council, I never really knew. All I knew was I was elected to represent the people of District 1. I had no idea on committees. I had no idea who's Ken Moses and what does that guy do? Who's Kathy? What does she do? I certainly learned a lot from you, Liz. And on behalf of council, staff, and the residents of the municipality district of Yarmouth, I'm not going to say how many years you've been working for us, but it's been a lot. And thank you very much for your dedicated service to the municipality and everyone that's been in contact with you. So thank you very much, Liz.
Mr. Chair, maybe Liz could turn her video on and just say hi and give a little wave to everybody.
Thank you, Liz. It's much appreciated. All right. We have some in-camera items, so I'd like a motion to move into camera. Moved by Councillor Daniel Allen. Do I have a seconder? seconded by Counselor Lauren Cushing. Motion to move into camera. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you very much, Council. We'll move on to item number 15. Is there any in-camera recommendations? There was none, so I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Counselor Daniel Allen, seconded by Counselor Lauren Cushing. All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you very much, Council. You have a wonderful evening, and I hope it's cooled down a little bit. It was quite hot earlier
you.
today.